this afternoon. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you to be the change that you want to see in your community, in your society, all right? You can do that by coming out here and being a part of this initiative. We're going to be here until the afternoon, so you want to come out and be a part of it. We're joined now by Dr. Jacinta Higgs. She's sitting to the left of me this afternoon, and of course, she's all the way from the Ministry of Social Services, the Director of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs. Good afternoon, Dr. Higgs. It's so great for you to join us this afternoon.
Thank you so very much. Good afternoon, Cashigan. First Lady Patricia Minnis here with us. Risa Smith, Toya Johnson, all of the Zontians, Terrence Bethel, thank you. I am here all the way from Ministry of Social Services representing Honorable Minister Frankie Alfred Campbell. But it is an historic honor for me to represent Fox Hill. So this is my stomping grounds. When you look in the back on the wall, you will see that this has been named as a World Heritage Site. And so we are so thankful to be here. Thank you very much again, Zontians. God bless you for the work that you do. I want to say that Minister Campbell and His Excellency the Governor General gave us a charge. The charge was that whilst we would visit the House of Assembly and the government house, they told us to go out into the communities. And I didn't answer, because sometimes you don't need to answer, but I know vividly remembering last year being in the beautiful community of Nassau Street area, the Christie Park, and it was really, really powerful. And so now, again, it is an esteemed honor to welcome you here to Fox Hill. I want to say that the partnerships have been very, very powerful for the ministry because we are under heavy mandate. We are under national mandate because we have to write reports every year to what is it that the Department of Gender and Family Affairs would have done toward mitigating, reducing, making aware challenges with regards to domestic violence, sexual exploitation and abuse against women. And I want to say that I really thank God for the partners in Zonta, in the National Congress of Trade Union. Ms. Martin spoke earlier, she brought the press forums. The Bahamas Crisis Center, Dr. Patterson and her full team there. And now the Office of the First Spouse, that's represented here by First Lady. She will speak to the partnerships that are very, very important. I want to say that we recognized and we wish to, in a beautiful harmonizing prayer of silence, recognize the young lady that was found dead in the Yamakro area, and then now the next young lady just found, and that happened when we first started this 16 days of activism. And sure enough, we are ending with the death of another Bahamian woman found just recently. And so I want to say that even though this happened, this marred, as it were, these activities, this actually strengthened the vision and the spiritual intent of these activities. I want to say finally, Kashigan, that nationally we have to give reports. Regionally, we are going right now to Barbados to give reports. So it's an international scrutiny, and internationally we have to go and give reports to Geneva, to New York with regards to what it is we're doing. And so again, Zonta, I cannot tell you how important it is and how thankful we are for what you're doing. There are several key, I just want to list 9 of them that any woman and girl should know about. And actually, while Zonta those will have the activities, Office of the First Spouse just did a fabulous experience. Over 300 girls, and even including all the women and girls from the shelter, with regards to International Day of the Girl Child, was just a few weeks ago. Smart women just emptied the shelters, women and girls, and brought them to a beautiful experience. Zonta did sip and speak, beautiful activities over the past 21 days. So it's not 16 days of activism. For the past 21 days, there were almost 40 events. And again, Kashigan, that's historic even within itself. All right, and so we thank God. But let me share with the listening public what we are undergirded by. This is not something that Zonta is just doing. We are backed by the Montevideo strategy that the government of the Bahamas signed. We are backed by Bellum de Paro. Right now in Washington, Elaine Sands, former superintendent, she's there representing Bellum de Paro, which is a convention dealing with mastectomy, meaning violence against women. And so what are we doing? What can we do? And so those are several of them. Then you have the Organization of the American States that came over recently, and they did an interrogation of sorts, meaning they investigated. And literally, the case was taken to Jamaica against our country with regards to how we treat women and girls. Thankfully, it was resolved beautifully when the Attorney General made representation of the truth in terms of that case. But the point is, nationally, regionally, and internationally, persons are watching what it is that we're doing. Then you have the Ottawa Declaration, which was done at Chogam meeting in 1991. It speaks specifically to the rights of women and girls. You have the UN Women that we are working with as well. And so, again, giving account. Also, there's a Commonwealth Charter that was written and signed, all of the information regarding the rights, the empowerment, the protection, the advancement of women and girls. These are critical documents. And then finally, right here in the region, we have CARICOM, that's the Caribbean. And so it is my pleasure to work again with so many partners and also to write reports. So I take photos all the time. I write the narratives, ladies. And every activity that you do, I just want Zonta to know that I include them in the report, and it really makes us look good on an international level. I do acknowledge, though, we have still so much more work to do. So God bless the partnerships that we have established. Thank you very much.